Hello, my name is Dr. Rhonda Hampton, and I'm a licensed clinical psychologist. I'm also the co-founder of a nonprofit organization, REACH for Mental Health Awareness. At REACH, we assist family and friends who are searching for their mentally ill and missing loved ones. We're producing this series of videos to assist friends and families who are searching for missing individuals. When an individual goes missing, there are several things that you need to consider. To begin with, you want to check the normal places that the person hangs out. You want to check the individual's home, make sure you check their bedroom, make sure you check the kitchen, the backyard, and make sure they're not anywhere inside or outside of the home. You also want to check their workplace. So you would contact their employer, their co-workers to find out if they've shown up to work, or if there's any places that they typically hang out at work. You want to call the individual's friends and families to make sure that they haven't made contact with any of them. You also want to call their home phone and leave a message, call their cell phone also and leave a message, and you want to do that several times during your search for them. You also want to contact their landlord, their neighbors, a roommate if they have one, to see if they've seen the individual. You want to check the individual's social media pages to see if they've made contact with any of their friends or family on their social media. After you've checked to find out if the individual has made contact with any friends or family, if they've shown up at work, or if they've been at home, the next thing that you want to do is to file a missing persons report. Now, it's important to know that there is no waiting period to file a missing persons report, so you can do so immediately. Make the report as soon as you believe that the individual is missing, and know that sometimes you might be discouraged from doing this, but you need to trust your own instincts and make that report anyway. A missing persons report can be made over the phone or in person at the local law enforcement office. When you're making the missing persons report, be prepared to provide several pieces of information. That information would include the person's full name, their height, weight, the date of birth, hair color, eye color, the race of the individual. You also want to include what the individual was wearing when they went missing, any distinguishing characteristics about the individual, any scars or tattoos that might be on the individual, the last known location. Important to include any medical or mental health conditions that the individual might be suffering. Also, any medications that the individual has taken, you want to be sure to provide that information to law enforcement. And you also want to include the mood that the individual is in when you last saw them. After you've provided all this information to law enforcement, you would want to be prepared to include a photograph of the individual, and that would be the most recent photograph that you have. If you can provide various angles of the individual, to include a side view of the individual, a frontal view of the individual, as well as a shot of the individual smiling. Depending on how long an individual has been missing, be prepared to provide DNA, which could be in the form of a toothbrush, a hairbrush, a cup that the individual may have drank out of. You want to be able to provide fingerprints of the individual, as well as dental records. Make sure before you leave the station or get off the phone that you write down the missing person's case number. And this is important because you will want to include this on your flyer. You also want to request an official flyer from law enforcement, as some agencies who will assist you need to know that an official report has been made. You want to also get the name and phone number of the detective who will be handling your missing persons case. And be sure to ask any additional questions about how this case will be handled before you leave the law enforcement office. After you've reported the person missing, you want to contact friends, family, co-workers, neighbors, and let them know that you filed a missing persons report, and you also want to enlist their help in your search efforts for the individual who's missing. You want to assign tasks to friends and families for more efficiency in the search. You want to inform the individual's employer, or if they're in college, the university that the person is missing. And this is important because should they show up, then the employer and the university officials will know to contact you. You want to inform the landlord, the neighbor, and roommates that a missing persons case has been filed on the individual. You want to contact the local hospitals and jails to see if the individual has shown up there. And you also want to contact the local county coroner's office. You also want to go back and check the individual social media pages to see if they have made any contact through social media. After you've enlisted the help of family and friends, you've contacted all the local authorities, you've informed everyone that you know that the individual is missing, you want to arrange for a flyer distribution. So one of the ways you want to do that is you want to request the official flyer from law enforcement and make multiple copies. If you're unable to obtain an official flyer from law enforcement, then you can make your own by going online and downloading a template. Get family members and friends to assist in passing out flyers and posting flyers, starting in the area where the individual was last seen and in areas where the individual frequents. Periodically redistribute and repost the flyers with new photographs and additional information to keep it fresh and keep people interested. Post information about the missing person on your social media page and ask your friends and family to do the same. Create a social media page dedicated to the missing person and update the page with information regarding flyer distributions and any changes in the missing person status. Contact organizations that will post information regarding the missing persons on their websites as well as their social media pages. Contact the local news media as well as newspaper and inform them of the missing status of the individual you're searching for. One of the ways that you can do this is either by email or by faxing the information, but you need to make sure that the information that you're providing is compelling enough for them to want to pick up the story. Should they not pick up the story, be persistent and keep going back. Be persistent. If they don't cover your story at your first request, continue to provide them with updating information that might compel them to do the story. When someone goes missing, it can cause a great deal of emotional distress. If you feel overwhelmed while you're searching for your loved one, you should seek out professional help. You need to enlist the help of friends and families. You can also reach out to organizations that can help and support you in the search for your missing loved one. Here's a list of the organizations that can assist you. My name is Dr. Rhonda Hampton, and I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, and I'm also the co-founder of REACH for Mental Health Awareness. REACH is a nonprofit organization that assists families who are searching for their missing loved ones. I co-founded REACH after my intern, Mitrice Richardson, went missing in September of 2009. I found that it was difficult emotionally to search for her, as well as navigating myself through the bureaucracy of searching for a missing person. At that time, while there were many organizations that would assist individuals who were searching for their missing loved ones, there were no organizations that provided outreach to connect families with those organizations that already existed. We founded REACH in an effort to connect families who were searching for their missing loved ones with organizations that are already available to assist them in their search. If you need assistance in searching for your missing loved one, you can contact us at www.reachformentalhealth.com.